There are places on this planet so breathtakingly beautiful, yet every step holds the fragile boundary between life and death. From Death Valley in the United States, the hottest valley in the world, where searing heat can wipe out life, to the Danakil Depression in Ethiopia, a hellish land of lava, toxic gases, and blazing salt lakes, nature displays an unimaginable destructive force. From Snake Island in Brazil, where venomous snakes dominate every inch of land, to North Sentinel Island in the Indian Ocean, where an isolated tribe rejects all contact, humanity realizes there are islands both mysterious and menacing. From the Great Blue Hole off the coast of Belize to Aokigahara in Japan, the gloomy forest at the foot of Mount Fuji, and then to the radioactive Elephant's Foot in Chernobyl, danger comes from both nature and the dark legacy of mankind. This planet is both enchanting and harsh. These lands remind us that beauty and danger always walk together, and it is this fragility that makes Earth a world both terrifying and wondrous. Etna, the massive stratovolcano on the eastern coast of Sicily, Italy, is both a geological wonder and a mountain steeped in legend. Rising more than 10,800 feet, its summit is never fixed. After each eruption, the height shifts, sometimes increasing or decreasing by dozens of feet, proof of the Earth's relentless power. The volcano sits right on the collision zone between the African and Eurasian plates, where continental forces create the vast magma chamber that feeds Etna. It is one of the most active and the tallest volcanoes in Europe, listed as a decade volcano for close monitoring and study. But Etna is not only a natural phenomenon. In Greek mythology, Zeus imprisoned Typhon, the monstrous giant of chaos, beneath its slopes. It was also believed that the forge of Hephaestus lay deep inside Etna, where he crafted weapons for the gods with fire and molten iron. For centuries, the volcano has been seen as a gateway linking the mortal world with divine power. The name Etna may come from the Phoenician word atuna, meaning furnace or chimney, a perfect reflection of the mountain that constantly smokes and glows with lava. And at its base, in bustling towns such as Catania and Messina, Etna looms as both a threat and a blessing, shaping fertile lands where people have lived and thrived for thousands of years. Mount Merapi, located on the border between central Java and the special region of Yogyakarta, is the most active volcano in Indonesia. Standing today at about 9,600 feet, the mountain has repeatedly changed shape due to violent eruptions, including one event that lowered its height by 125 feet. Records show that Merapi has erupted continuously since the year 1548, with an average frequency of every 2 to 5 years, making it a key focus of global scientific monitoring. Even in its quiet phases, Merapi releases white smoke from its crater, a reminder that magma is still surging below. This constant activity has placed it among the decade volcanoes, the world's most dangerous volcanoes, requiring close observation. Its unpredictable power is both a threat and a testament to Earth's ceaseless dynamism. Beyond geology, Merapi carries profound spiritual significance. For the Javanese people, the mountain, the Yogyakarta Palace, and the Southern Sea form a sacred axis that links heaven, earth, and ocean. This belief reflects a harmonious relationship between nature and humanity, where the volcano is not only a source of danger, but also a cosmic symbol. Today, Merapi remains one of the most closely watched volcanoes on Earth, both for its potential hazards and for its cultural and spiritual importance to the communities surrounding it. Amid the Karo highlands of northern Sumatra, Mount Sinabung rises like a living scar of the earth. Standing more than 7,800 feet tall, the mountain had slept for centuries until it suddenly awoke in the year 2010. Since then, columns of ash, streams of lava, and showers of volcanic rock have erupted again and again, making it one of the most dangerous volcanoes in Indonesia. Each time Sinabung roars, the sky turns to leaden grey, ash billows thousands of feet high, and an entire region is blanketed. Villages on its slopes are forced into repeated evacuations, while fertile lands are buried beneath thick layers of ash. The Karo people, tied to this rich soil, live in constant tension between the mountain's gifts and its destruction. Most haunting are the pyroclastic flows, searing clouds of gas and debris racing down the slopes at terrifying speeds, powerful enough to incinerate everything instantly. They have turned Sinabung into a symbol of nature's untamed force, where humans can do nothing but watch from afar, powerless before heat beyond imagination. From a distance at sunset, Sinabung wears a crown of white clouds, yet grey smoke still smoulders beneath. It is both serene and ferocious, like a restless god who may awaken at any moment. Sinabung is not merely a mountain, but a harsh reminder that the earth lives, breathes, and sometimes roars to assert its power. Heaven's Gate on Tianmen Mountain in Hunan Province is a colossal natural arch rising more than 430 feet, opening like a gateway that pierces the sky. Since ancient times, the Chinese have called it the Heavenly Gate, where earth and sky meet, a vision that still leaves travelers in awe. To reach the arch, one must conquer the Avenue to the Sky, a winding road with 99 bends clinging to the sheer cliffs. From there, 999 steep steps climb directly into the giant hollow in the rock face. Each number 9 symbolizes eternity, turning the ascent into both a sacred ritual and a formidable challenge. Beyond the road, Tianmen Mountain is also famed for its cable car, stretching 4.5 miles, ranking among the longest and steepest in the world. Floating in a cabin above the clouds, visitors gaze upon vertical limestone peaks like a paradise suspended in mist. From this height, the arch emerges like a miraculous fracture carved into the mountain. Today, Heaven's Gate is not only a site of pilgrimage and wonder, but also a stage for daring feats. Airplanes have flown through its opening, and wingsuit flyers hurl themselves across its immense void. Amid this surreal landscape, humanity seems to stretch a hand toward the heavens themselves. Cape Tribulation in northern Queensland is one of the rare places on Earth where the tropical rainforest meets the coral sea. It is the magical junction of the Daintree rainforest, 135 million years old, and the Great Barrier Reef, the largest coral reef on the planet. Daintree is considered the oldest surviving rainforest, where giant ferns and prehistoric plants still thrive. Just a few steps beyond the shade of the forest, white beaches and coral waters stretch out before the eyes. Two UNESCO World Heritage Sites converge here, creating a unique natural scene where forest and ocean merge as one. But Cape Tribulation is not only beautiful, it is also a place of hidden danger. Saltwater crocodiles lurking in the swamps and cassowary birds, creatures capable of attacking humans, wandering among the trees. That harshness gives the land its raw beauty, untamed and unyielding. The name Tribulation dates back to the year 1770, when Captain James Cook struck a coral reef here and wrote in his journal that troubles began. More than 2 centuries later, this land still preserves its mystery, where nature both seduces and warns humankind. The Northern Territory is one of the vastest and wildest regions of Australia, where red deserts, mangrove forests, and sacred rock formations converge. Stretching across millions of acres with sparse population, it holds natural icons known throughout the world. Uluru is the shining jewel of the Northern Territory, a colossal sandstone monolith standing 1,142 feet high, shifting from fiery red to deep purple depending on the light. For the Anangu people, it is not merely a rock, but the spiritual heart of Dreamtime, the creation era in their beliefs. Nearby, Kata Tjuta, with its 36 massive domes, adds to the surreal landscape. Farther north, Kakadu National Park unfolds another world. Lush wetlands, towering waterfalls, and thousands of rock paintings dating back 20,000 years. This World Heritage Site preserves both human history and an ecosystem rich with saltwater crocodiles, migratory birds, and vast mangrove forests. The Northern Territory is a land where nature is both majestic and merciless. In the dry season, hot winds sweep red dust across the plains. In the wet season, flash floods transform lowlands into inland seas. Here one realizes that in Australia, life and death always coexist, and nature reigns supreme. Death Valley in California is the harshest land in North America, where heat and aridity reach their extreme. At Badwater Basin, the ground sinks 282 feet below sea level, forming a vast salt pan stretching to the horizon. The temperatures here are notoriously brutal. In July of 1913, Furnace Creek recorded 134 degrees Fahrenheit, the highest temperature ever measured on Earth. In summer, the heat is strong enough to bake a pie on a car hood, while desert winds blow with the scorching breath of fire. This severity has turned Death Valley into the living emblem of its name, the Valley of Death. Its landscapes appear almost unreal. Towering dunes at Mesquite Flat, the multicolored mountains of Artist's Palette and Racetrack Playa, where massive boulders mysteriously slide across the surface, leaving long tracks, make Death Valley look like another planet. Today, Death Valley is a national park covering more than 5,000 square miles, where nature displays beauty both deadly and majestic. Standing on the blinding white salt flats under the blazing sun, one realizes that there are still places on Earth that make us feel smaller and more fragile than ever. Stairway to Heaven on the island of Oahu is one of the strangest and most dangerous hiking trails in the world. More than 3,000 steel steps cling directly to the steep face of the Kulau Mountains, suspended between sky and earth, looking both like a ladder to paradise and a staircase into the abyss. The stairs were built in 1942 during World War II to serve a US Navy radio station. With terrifyingly steep angles, many sections nearly vertical, climbers can only hold tight to the cold metal railings with nothing but a yawning void beside them. Below lies the dense Hawaiian forest, while above, clouds drift lazily across the cliffs. Though closed since 1987 due to the danger, the Haiku Stairs still attract thrill seekers. Many sneak up, risking heavy fines just to stand at the summit, where Kaneohe Bay unfolds like a vast blue-green panorama. Today, this stairway faces the threat of being dismantled entirely to prevent illegal climbs. Yet in the memories of those who have set foot there, the Stairway to Heaven remains a surreal experience, a journey both breathtaking and terrifying, where every step feels like one closer to the sky. Mount Washington in New Hampshire is the highest peak in the northeastern United States, but it is most famous for having some of the harshest weather on Earth. At just 6,288 feet, the mountain set a record wind speed of 231 miles per hour in 1934, a force strong enough to topple a train. The climate here can shift within minutes. A sunny day can suddenly turn into a blizzard, with zero visibility and skin-cutting winds. Even in summer, temperatures on the summit often hover near freezing. That is why Mount Washington is called the home of the world's worst weather. The journey up the mountain is just as remarkable. Since the 19th century, the Cog Railway has carried visitors to the summit with its steep rack and pinion system, a marvel of engineering for its time. There is also the Mount Washington Auto Road, a winding route that offers spectacular views but challenges even experienced drivers. The mountain is stunning but perilous. Dense fog, sudden snowstorms, and extreme winds have claimed the lives of hundreds of climbers over the decades. Mount Washington is a reminder that even at a modest elevation, nature can create conditions so brutal that humans are forced to bow before it. Hawksbill Crag, also known as Whitaker Point, is Arkansas's most iconic rock formation, jutting out from the cliff like the beak of a giant hawk. Located in the Ozark National Forest, the crag hangs about 100 feet above the wooded valley below, offering one of the most spectacular viewpoints in the American South. From the top of the crag, the vast Ozark forest stretches out, shifting with the seasons. Spring blooms with wildflowers, summer deepens into lush green, autumn blazes with red and gold, and winter reveals a stark and frozen landscape. This constant transformation has made Hawksbill Crag a living symbol of Arkansas, even gracing the cover of National Geographic Traveler. But beauty here walks hand in hand with danger. The rock surface can be slick after rain, and more than a few visitors have slipped when venturing too close to the edge. Still, thousands come each year, drawn by the mix of dread and awe when standing on the Hawk's Peak overlooking the forest sea. Hawksbill Crag is where nature tests courage. It is so beautiful that you want to step out and touch it, yet it reminds you that with a single misstep, the price could be your life. That is the deadly allure of this stone wonder. The Grand Canyon in Arizona is one of the natural wonders that makes humanity feel the smallest on Earth. This colossal gorge stretches for 277 miles, spans nearly 18 miles across, and plunges more than 6,000 feet deep, carved by the Colorado River through layers of rock over millions of years. Standing at the rim, you not only witness a majestic landscape, but also come face to face with Earth's memory itself. The The canyon walls reveal ancient layers of sediment, dating back as far as 2 billion years. Each band of color, red, orange, yellow, purple, is a page in geology's book, telling stories of ancient seas, deserts, and volcanic activity that once shaped this place. The Grand Canyon is not only beautiful, it is a massive, open-air museum. The conditions here are extreme. On the rim, the air can feel cool, but down at the bottom, summer temperatures can exceed 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Trails like the Bright Angel Trail overwhelm hikers with both awe and exhaustion. At the base, the Colorado River flows fast and fierce, powering rafting trips that are as dangerous as they are thrilling. The Grand Canyon is where beauty and severity always coexist. It offers a view that seems infinite, yet it forces us to bow before the power of time and nature. It is no wonder this place is considered one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, a chasm that is both breathtaking and terrifying. New Smyrna Beach in Florida is both a surfing paradise and a place that sends shivers down the spine. Stretching for 17 miles along the Atlantic coast, the beach is famous for its soft white sand and big waves perfect for surfers. That is why it has been called the surfing capital of the US East Coast. But beneath the blue surface lies a frightening truth. New Smyrna Beach is known as the shark bite capital of the world. More shark attacks are recorded here than at any other beach on Earth. Most involve small black-tip sharks that rarely kill, but the frequency is so high that nearly every year sees new incidents. Nature itself makes the place even more dangerous. Strong waves create rip currents powerful enough to sweep swimmers far offshore. For visitors, New Smyrna is beautiful yet unpredictable. A paradise where, even while surfing or swimming, you may feel like you are being watched from below. New Smyrna Beach is a clear example of Florida's dual nature, both inviting and threatening. It reminds us that the ocean can bring joy and excitement, but it always holds ultimate power and sometimes that thrill comes with an unexpected bite. Playa Zippolite in Oaxaca, Mexico, is one of the most beautiful yet dangerous beaches along the Pacific. This golden strip of sand stretches for about 1 mile, facing relentless waves and powerful rip currents that have earned it the chilling nickname, the Beach of the Dead. That name is no coincidence. In Zapotec, Zippolite means Beach of the Dead. Strong rip currents have claimed many lives in the past, giving the shoreline its grim reputation. Even today, with lifeguards on duty, the ocean always carries hidden danger for those who underestimate its power. Yet Zippolite is not only tied to death, it is also famous as a center of free-spirited culture. Since the 1960s, it has drawn hippies and backpackers from around the world. It remains the only public beach in Mexico where nude swimming is openly accepted, making Zippolite a symbol of liberation and openness. The mix of tropical beauty, golden sand, foaming surf, and blazing sunsets, with its dark reputation, has given Playa Zippolite a strange allure. It invites and warns at the same time, reminding us that sometimes the most beautiful places are also the ones that test human daring and limits. Death Road in Bolivia is the world's most infamous highway for danger. Officially named the North Yungas Road, it links La Paz with the lowland Amazon, winding through the Andes from an elevation of nearly 15,000 feet, 1,400 feet, before plunging down into valleys just over 3,300 feet. The road runs about 40 miles, but in many stretches, it is barely wide enough for a single vehicle. With a sheer rock wall on one side and a vertical drop of hundreds of feet on the other. With no guardrails, thick fog, and tropical rains making the surface slick, every curve once became a gamble with fate. In past decades, hundreds of people died here each year, giving it the grim title of Death Road. Today, Death Road is rarely used by trucks since a safer highway was built. Yet, it has been reborn as an attraction for thrill seekers. Thousands of visitors arrive to test themselves by cycling down the narrow, twisting path with the abyss lurking just inches away. Death Road stands as a symbol of Bolivia's extreme terrain. Its beauty comes with green mountains, waterfalls, and mist-filled valleys. But that beauty is inseparable from fear. Riding here, one realizes that a single mistake can cost a life, a rush of adrenaline forever tied to the shadow of death. The Danakil Desert in Eritrea appears like a land from another planet. Located on the Afar Triangle, where three tectonic plates slowly pull apart, this desert holds one of the most extreme environments on Earth. Summer temperatures regularly exceed 113 degrees Fahrenheit, and in many spots, layers of salt, lava, and sulfur create surreal patterns of color. Within the desert lie silent salt lakes, golden sulfur fumaroles, and lava flows smoldering from deep underground. The scenery resembles the surface of Mars, with bubbling acid pools, cracked red earth, and toxic green hot springs. Nowhere else does nature both attract and repel humans so powerfully at the same time. Yet afar, communities have endured here. For thousands of years, they have mined salt from the earth, loading it onto camel caravans that march across the desert. These blocks of salt, once called white gold, became both a lifeline and a bridge connecting Danakil to the wider world. The Danakil Desert is proof of Earth's extremes, a place where life struggles to survive, where landscapes are at once beautiful and dangerous, real and surreal. Standing here, one does not see only harshness, but also the magical beauty Earth creates when it pushes itself to its very limits. The Bermuda Triangle, lying between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has long been called the most mysterious stretch of the Atlantic. From above, it appears to be nothing more than an imaginary triangle on a map. Yet for decades, countless strange disappearances have turned it into legend. During the 20th century, many ships and aircraft were reported lost without a trace. The most famous case was Flight 19 in 1945, when 5 Navy bombers vanished during a training mission, along with the rescue plane sent after them. Wreckage was rarely found, sparking theories ranging from magnetic anomalies and methane gas escaping from the seabed to supernatural causes. This region is a crossroads of strong ocean currents, sudden shifts in weather, and violent tropical storms. For centuries, it has been a busy shipping lane, which partly explains the high number of accidents. Still, the coincidences and unpredictability have made the Bermuda Triangle a symbol of the so-called sea without answers. Standing in the middle of the sparkling blue ocean, it is hard to believe that these waves once swallowed fleets and squadrons. The Bermuda Triangle is at once an ordinary sea and a story humans never stop debating, where nature and myth are forever intertwined. Copacabana Beach stretches for about 2.5 miles along the southern shore of Rio de Janeiro, considered the city's most vibrant heart. The crescent-shaped beach embraces the blue bay with soft white sand, while in the distance, the granite peaks of Sugarloaf and Corcovado rise majestically. It is a panorama where sea, mountains, and city blend into one. Since the early 20th century, Copacabana has stood as a symbol of Brazil. Avenida Atlantica runs the length of the beach, with sidewalks paved in black and white wave mosaics designed by Roberto Burle Marx, now one of the world's most iconic promenades. Millions have gathered here for events ranging from New Year's celebrations and concerts to the World Cup and the Olympic Games. Yet Copacabana is not only tourism, it also mirrors Rio's contradictions. Behind the glamour lies the sharp contrast with hillside favelas marked by poverty. This duality gives Copacabana both a free-spirited tropical charm and a reminder of the city's social divides. Standing on Copacabana's sand, one does not see only the Atlantic surf crashing ashore, but feels the beating heart of Rio de Janeiro. It is at once a beach and a grand stage, where beauty, extravagance, and hidden shadows coexist in a single curve of white sand. Right on the edge of Victoria Falls, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, lies a natural pool known as Devil's Pool. Here, the calm waters of the Zambezi River suddenly plunge more than 300 feet, yet a hidden rock ledge creates a small basin where people can swim at the very brink of the abyss. During the dry season, when the water level drops, visitors can swim out to Devil's Pool and look straight down at the roaring white curtain of water below. Just a few inches separate safety from death. One wrong slip, and you would be swept over the edge. The mix of awe and fear makes this one of the most extreme experiences on Earth. This place is also wrapped in stories. Local people regard Victoria Falls as sacred, calling it Mosi Oatunya, the smoke that thunders. And Devil's Pool, perched right on that edge, stands as a symbol of the fragile boundary between life and death, where humans dare to play at the very doorway of the underworld. Standing in Devil's Pool, with the peaceful river behind and the thundering abyss ahead, one feels the smallness of humanity before the power of nature. It is not just a natural pool, but an encounter with the limits of existence, thrilling, terrifying, and unforgettable. El Caminito del Rey in Malaga province, Spain, was once considered the most dangerous walkway in Europe. Built in 1905 to give workers access to the Conde de Guadalajos hydroelectric dam, it clings to the vertical cliffs of the El Chorro Gorge. From afar, the trail looks like a fragile ribbon pasted against a massive stone wall. The original path was barely 3 feet wide, suspended more than 300 feet above the river below. Over the decades, concrete cracked, railings rusted, and sections collapsed completely, leaving open voids above the abyss. Despite the danger, thrill seekers came, clinging to broken beams to cross. Several fatal accidents occurred, which only amplified the walkway's worldwide fame. After years of closure, Caminito del Rey was restored and reopened in 2015. Today, visitors walk on a wooden path with sturdy railings, but the experience is still spine-chilling. Below is a dizzying drop. Above rise sheer cliffs, and ahead spans a suspension bridge linking both sides of the gorge. Walking here feels like floating in the skies of Andalusia. El Caminito del Rey is not just a walkway, but a direct encounter between majestic nature and bold human engineering. It shows how people confront and adapt to rugged landscapes, transforming a worker's trail into a tourism icon where beauty and fear travel side by side. Amid the majestic Swiss Alps, Trift Bridge appears like a slender thread suspended in the sky. This suspension bridge stretches 550 feet in length and rises more than 300 feet above Trift Lake, spanning a wide valley carved by retreating ice. The bridge was built in 2004, when the Trift Glacier receded so quickly that it cut off access to the Trift Hut, a mountain shelter for climbers. To restore the route, engineers created this dramatic crossing. From the bridge, visitors can gaze directly down at the emerald waters of the lake, formed by the melting glacier, a view both stunning and unsettling. Crossing Trift Bridge is not for the faint of heart. The walkway is only wide enough for a single person, with wooden planks swaying under the mountain wind and steel cables as the only guardrails. Each step feels as though you are floating in mid-air with a dizzying void beneath your feet. The mix of thrill and tension makes it one of the most popular attractions in the Alps. Trift Bridge is more than an engineering marvel. It is a reminder of climate change. The rapid retreat of the glacier made the bridge necessary in the first place. Standing on this fragile span, people not only admire the grandeur of nature, but also sense the fragility of a planet transforming before their eyes. Mont Blanc, standing at 15,775 feet, is the highest peak in the Alps and all of Western Europe. Covered in snow and ice year-round, the mountain straddles the border of France and Italy, with Switzerland nearby, making it a symbol that transcends nations and represents an entire continent. Its name, Mont Blanc, means white mountain, and from a distance, it truly appears as a colossal block of snow rising into the sky. Vast glaciers pour down its slopes, including the Mer de Glace, stretching more than 4 miles, one of the largest in Europe. Mont Blanc has long been a sacred ground for climbers. The first successful ascent in 1786 marked the beginning of modern mountaineering. Yet danger is always present. Freezing temperatures, sudden snowstorms, and rockfalls have claimed thousands of lives. Even so, tens of thousands attempt the climb each year, drawn by the lure of the roof of Europe. Mont Blanc embodies the paradox of purity and peril. Seen from the valleys of Chamonix or Courmayeur, it is like a white dream. But for climbers, it is the ultimate test of endurance. The mountain is not only an icon of the Alps, but also a mirror, reflecting human fragility before the immensity of nature. Mont Blanc, standing at 15,775 feet, is the highest peak in the Alps and all of Western Europe. Covered in snow and ice year-round, the mountain straddles the border of France and Italy, with Switzerland nearby, making it a symbol that transcends nations and represents an entire continent. Its name, Mont Blanc, means white mountain, and from a distance, it truly appears as a colossal block of snow rising into the sky. Vast glaciers pour down its slopes, including the Mer de Glace, stretching more than 4 miles, one of the largest in Europe. This breathtaking scenery also serves as a living testimony to climate change, as the ice has been retreating rapidly in recent decades. Mont Blanc has long been a sacred ground for climbers. The first successful ascent in 1786 marked the beginning of modern mountaineering. Mont Blanc embodies the paradox of purity and peril. Seen from the valleys of Chamonix or Courmayeur, it is like a white dream. But for climbers, it is the ultimate test of endurance. The mountain is not only an icon of the Alps, but also a mirror, reflecting human fragility before the immensity of nature. Amid the harsh Danakil desert, Erta Ale rises like a volcano from another world. Situated near the border between Ethiopia and Eritrea, below sea level, it stands at about 2,000 feet and is one of the few volcanoes on Earth with a continuously active lava lake, earning it the name the Gateway to Hell of Ethiopia. At the summit lies a vast crater, inside of which molten lava boils in bright red, bursting into fiery bubbles and black smoke. Erta Ale's lava lake has remained active for decades, creating one of the most primeval spectacles humans can witness. A place where the living flow of Earth reveals itself right beneath our feet. But the journey to Erta Ale is far from easy. Travelers must cross the Danakil desert, where temperatures often soar above 104 degrees Fahrenheit, with scarce water and scorching winds whipping the sand. At night, the glow from the lava illuminates the sky, turning the surrounding landscape into a vision both nightmarish and majestic. Erta Ale is not only a destination for adventurers, but also a vital site for scientists studying volcanism and plate tectonics. Standing at the rim of the lava lake, one feels both overwhelmed and humbled by the reminder of humanity's fragility in the face of Earth's immense and unpredictable power. Dallol, located in the Afar Triangle of northeastern Ethiopia, sits about 426 feet below sea level and is one of the hottest and harshest places on Earth. Average yearly temperatures often exceed 95 degrees Fahrenheit, sometimes rising above 113, making it one of the most extreme climates recorded on the planet. The scenery at Dallol is a bizarre fusion of colors and geological energy. Bubbling acid pools glow green. Streams of golden sulfur spread across the ground. Patches of white salt mix with cracked red-brown earth. Toxic gases escape from small vents, turning the area into a vast natural laboratory that is both dazzling and dangerous. Many studies describe Dallol as nearly impossible for life. The water here has a pH lower than stomach acid, combined with searing heat and heavy mineral concentration, preventing most organisms from surviving. This has made Dallol an important reference point for understanding how life might exist on other planets. Today, only Afar people occasionally pass through to extract salt, while most visitors are researchers or explorers. Dallol stands as proof that Earth still holds places beyond imagination, an alien painting drawn with fire, salt, and acid. Off the coast of Belize, within the Lighthouse Reef, the Great Blue Hole appears as a massive dark blue circle set in turquoise waters. Nearly 1,040 feet wide and more than 390 feet deep, it is one of the largest underwater sinkholes in the world. The Great Blue Hole was formed during the Ice Age, when sea levels were hundreds of feet lower than today. Vast limestone caves developed underground. As the ice melted and the sea rose, the caves collapsed and flooded, leaving behind the perfectly round chasm now hidden beneath the ocean's surface. Beneath the blue depths lies a world both majestic and perilous. Giant stalactites, some stretching dozens of feet, still stand at the bottom, proof of the time when these caves were dry. Divers describe the space as entering an immense underwater cathedral. Yet its extreme depth, lack of oxygen, and unpredictable currents make it a hazardous challenge, with numerous accidents recorded. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Great Blue Hole is not only a diver's dream, but also a global icon of Belize's seas. It represents the raw mystery and beauty of Earth, a masterpiece carved by nothing more than water, stone, and time. The Skeleton Coast in northern Namibia is one of the wildest and harshest shorelines on Earth. Stretching for hundreds of miles along the Atlantic, it earned its name from countless shipwrecks and animal bones left scattered on the sand. The climate here is full of contradictions. The cold Benguela current collides with the scorching Namib Desert, producing thick fog that blankets the coast nearly year-round. Ships lost in the white haze are easily driven ashore, trapped forever between crashing waves and desert sands. Rusted wrecks, leaning on the beach, stand as grim monuments to this deadly place. Yet amid the harshness, the Skeleton Coast shelters a unique ecosystem. Thousands of seals gather in noisy colonies along the shore, while hyenas and desert lions wander from the Namib to hunt them. Within the signs of death, life still finds a way to persist, turning the coastline into a stark yet vibrant tableau. The Skeleton Coast reminds people of their fragility. Standing before broken hulls, shrouded in fog and the roar of the Atlantic, one understands why it is called the gateway to hell. It is not merely a beach, but a living memory of the ocean's fury and the unyielding power of nature. Gansbaai is a small coastal town in South Africa's Western Cape, but it has earned the title of Great White Shark Capital of the World. Located about 100 miles from Cape Town, the waters off Gansbaai are home to one of the densest populations of great white sharks, apex predators that dominate the ocean food chain. The most famous spot is Shark Alley, a narrow channel between Dyer Island and Geyser Rock. Thousands of seals live here, creating a rich food source that draws in the sharks. Visitors can join cage diving tours, lowering into the water to face rows of jagged teeth just inches away, an experience as terrifying as it is spectacular. But Gansbaai is not only about sharks. Humpback whales and southern right whales appear during migration season, while seabirds fill the skies above the islands. The sight of a massive great white breaching from the water to strike its prey has turned this coastline into a mecca for photographers and marine researchers alike. Gansbaai reveals the raw power of nature, where the ocean still belongs to its top predators. Standing on a boat in Shark Alley, one feels both fear and exhilaration, realizing that in some places, humans remain small observers before the fury of the sea. Playa do Norte in Nazare is where the ocean explodes with the largest waves on the planet. In winter, the waters before this small Atlantic town turn into a liquid arena, where towering walls of water up to 100 feet rise like 10-story buildings. The secret lies in the Nazare Canyon, an underwater gorge stretching more than 120 miles long and over 16,000 feet deep. This giant canyon funnels the energy of the ocean, amplifying the swells and driving them straight to shore. As a result, Playa do Norte has become the sanctuary of giant waves, where the Atlantic displays its rawest power. The waves of Nazare have made history in surfing. Garrett McNamara and Rodrigo Cogsa both broke world records here, riding swells more than 70 feet high. On shore, the red lighthouse of Fort de São Miguel Arcanjo has become an icon, where crowds from across the globe gather to witness the rare spectacle. Playa do Norte is more than an extreme sports destination. It captures the overwhelming feeling of nature's might. Gray skies, churning seas, and colossal walls of water standing before your eyes. In Nazare, one realizes how small humans are when the ocean forever holds supreme power. In the middle of the Indian Ocean, Réunion rises like a massive volcanic island where nature is still in motion. On an area of just over 960 square miles, the island holds icy peaks, tropical forests, deep valleys, and bright coral shores. At its heart stands Piton de la Fournaise, one of the most active volcanoes on Earth. Its repeated eruptions have sent rivers of glowing lava flowing straight into the sea, carving the image of a land that is constantly in the making. In contrast lies Piton des Neiges, standing more than 10,000 feet high, the remnant of an ancient volcano, now covered with forests and clouds. The power of volcanoes not only built the peaks, but also carved immense valleys called cirques, Mafate, Salazie, and Silayos. Each valley is like an isolated world, with small villages nestled among towering cliffs and waterfalls dropping hundreds of feet. On the outside, Réunion's coast changes constantly. In some places, sheer black cliffs rise from the sea. In others, golden sands and colorful coral reefs appear. Alongside this is a unique cultural fusion. African, Asian, and European influences blending in food, music, and language. Réunion is not just an island, but a miniature planet where volcanoes, the ocean, and humanity continue to write an endless story together. Aokigahara lies at the foot of Mount Fuji, stretching across more than 13 square miles, making it one of Japan's most unusual forests. The trees grow so densely that light barely penetrates, leaving the interior in a deep green twilight, eerily silent. It is known as the Sea of Trees. The forest floor was born from lava flows after Mount Fuji's eruption in the year 864. The uneven ground, with roots twisting around volcanic rock, creates a natural labyrinth. Magnetic anomalies from the stone cause compasses to fail, while GPS signals often falter, making it nearly impossible for the lost to find their way back. Aokigahara also carries a heavy weight of legend. In history, it was said to be a place where the elderly were abandoned, and today it is infamous as a destination for those seeking death. Along the trails, signs remind visitors, "Your life is a precious gift," words echoing in the unsettling stillness of the forest. Yet despite its somber reputation, Aokigahara is still a natural wonder. Hidden within are ice caves preserved by the ancient lava, while above, Mount Fuji towers like a guardian. Aokigahara is not just a place, but a blend of surreal beauty and haunting shadows, leaving an unforgettable impression on anyone who enters. Tsingy de Bemaraha in western Madagascar is a massive limestone labyrinth where millions of sharp stone spires rise like a forest of silver-grey blades. The word Tsingy in the local language means the place where you cannot walk barefoot, an accurate description of this jagged landscape. These formations were shaped from ancient limestone, eroded over millions of years by rainwater. The result is a plateau transformed into towers, canyons, and deep crevices, some reaching up to 230 feet. Seen from above, the entire area looks like a petrified ocean, its surface rippling with giant stone knives. Yet life persists in this harsh terrain. Lemurs leap from rock to rock, rare birds soar between the cliffs, and endemic reptiles cling to the grey walls. Many species exist only in Madagascar, turning Tsingy into an island within an island of evolution. Exploring Tsingy is no simple task. Visitors must cross swaying suspension bridges between cliffs, squeeze through narrow cracks that fit only one person, and climb steel pegs hammered directly into the spires. The experience is both perilous and awe-inspiring, as if stepping into a world that does not belong to Earth. Socotra, lying in the middle of the Indian Ocean, is often described as an alien island. Isolated from the mainland for millions of years, it has developed a unique ecosystem where nearly 1/3 of its plant species are found nowhere else on Earth. The most striking symbol is the dragon's blood tree. Its umbrella-shaped canopy spreads upward toward the sky, while its resin flows red like blood, long used by local people as dye and medicine. Alongside it grow other bizarre species: cucumber trees with swollen green trunks, and adenium with thick bases, like clay jars glowing with pink blossoms. Together, they create a surreal garden in the middle of the ocean. The landscapes of Socotra are equally spectacular. Limestone plateaus, carved by wind and rain, form deep gorges. Mountain ranges rise sharply and then descend into long, white sand beaches. Along the coast, turquoise waters reflect the strange shapes of the vegetation, making the entire island look like a world painted from imagination. UNESCO has recognized Socotra as a World Natural Heritage Site, not only for its beauty, but also for its extraordinary biological value. It is a living laboratory of evolution, where Earth reveals the creativity of nature far beyond human imagination. Just a few miles from downtown Kagoshima, Sakurajima is considered Japan's most active urban volcano. It was once a separate island, but the eruption of 1914 caused lava flows to cross the strait, turning it into a peninsula. Since then, thousands of people have lived right at the foot of the mountain, beneath which a massive magma chamber keeps stirring continuously. Sakurajima is unlike other volcanoes. It never truly sleeps. On average, there are hundreds of small explosions each year, sometimes reaching into the thousands. Ash columns rise over 10,000 feet high, enough to gray the sky, and hot rocks can fly for miles. For the people of Kagoshima, volcanic ash is simply part of life. They wash their cars, sweep their roofs, and clean the streets every morning as if it were a daily ritual. Scientists monitor Sakurajima through a dense network of sensors. Internal pressure often spikes within just a few hours, signaling sudden eruptions. In those moments, the ground trembles slightly, not enough to destroy, but enough for anyone standing nearby to feel the Earth's heartbeat. On some nights, the crater glows red. The reflection dancing on the bay looks as if the horizon itself were burning. At Sakurajima, the line between life and danger is as thin as the layer of ash on a rooftop. The people here do not avoid nature. They live with it, knowing that the mountain may rage at any moment, and that it is the same force that built the land beneath their feet. Stretching more than 1,600 kilometers along the Pacific coast of northern Chile, the Atacama is where rain has almost vanished. Some weather stations have gone years without recording a single drop. Trapped between the Andes and the coastal mountains, with cold ocean currents sweeping the shore, the Atacama seems kept dry by both nature and geology. The climate here is a trial. Scientists once used this land to simulate missions to Mars. As the cracked soil receives less than a few millimeters of rain each year in many areas. Seen from above, the Atacama is a massive basin, white salt flats, red dunes, rocky sinkholes, and not a single large tree. Passing through the dry sala, you can feel a light pressure in your ears from the dryness and thin air, like stepping into a local vacuum. Yet what makes the Atacama eerie is its unpredictability. In a place with almost no rain, a single rare storm can turn the cracked ground into a vast mud pit or trigger deadly landslides. One rainfall once swept away dozens of settlements, a reminder that this land is far from gentle. In the Atacama, beauty lies not in abundance, but in defiance. It shows that living among the unlivable is still a form of existence. Standing in that parched earth, you're not there to admire it, but to feel the raw power of the planet we call home. Spanning more than 1.3 million square kilometers across the Mongolian Plateau and northern China, the Gobi is among the driest and harshest regions on Earth. Unlike the familiar golden sand deserts, the Gobi is one of rock and gravel, a dry sea stretching to the horizon, where temperatures can swing nearly 70 degrees Celsius between day and night. Winds sweeping down from Siberia turn it into a natural grinder. Sandstorms can swallow entire villages within hours, and the fine grains are strong enough to wear down paint and safety glass. Standing in the cracked plain, the wind whistles through stone gaps, sometimes carrying a low growl of a forming storm, a sound that makes you instinctively look for shelter. The Gobi is known not only for its brutality, but also for the secrets it guards. In the red cliffs of Bayanzag, paleontologists have unearthed perfectly preserved dinosaur fossils. Eggs still bearing shell marks, as if the creatures had just departed. Amid dead land, traces of life from millions of years ago remain, telling the planet's own story. Crossing the Gobi challenges every sense. The heat makes the air shimmer, stones can cut through your shoes, and every drop of water becomes a treasure. This land shows no mercy. It accepts only those determined enough to keep walking when the world around them seems to melt away. Covering more than 650,000 square kilometers, Rub al Khali stretches across Arab nations, but most of it lies within the southern desert region of Saudi Arabia. Its surface is a sea of sand, with dunes rising up to about 250 meters, lined up like waves frozen between earth and sky. The reddish-orange sand layer, containing feldspar, reflects sunlight and creates a distinctive color that can be clearly seen from satellites. Amid the shifting sands and ever-changing shapes lie little-known geological traces. Beneath today's sand once existed shallow lakes a few thousand years ago. Calcium carbonate sediments, shell remains, and evidence of large animals such as hippopotamuses and water buffalo. This reveals that the area was once a humid land before nature sealed it into a desert dead zone. The desert crossing route for explorers has no clear paths, only dunes and moving sand streams. Many expeditions have lost direction because there are no fixed landmarks. And Sabkha areas, dry salt flats, like al-Samim in the east, are deadly traps. Their surface looks firm, but underneath may be hollow, dry mud that suddenly collapses beneath one's feet. Standing atop a great dune, gazing at an endless sea of sand, you realize Rub al Khali is not a place to visit. It is a place to understand that a land once alive can be transformed by nature into a trial where every step demands awareness and humility before the vastness. Between Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, the Bay of Fundy is where the ocean reveals the true force of gravity. Every day, 160 billion tons of seawater pour in and out, enough to flood the entire San Francisco Bay. The difference between high tide and low tide can exceed 52 feet, the highest on Earth. When the tide retreats, the seabed and mudflats emerge like a cracked plain. Just a few hours later, the same spot disappears beneath towering walls of rising waves. Locals say that if you miss a single tidal rhythm, you could be trapped by water rushing back faster than a speeding train. At Hopewell Rocks, giant mushroom-shaped formations, dozens of feet high, have been sculpted over thousands of years by the same relentless tides. At low tide, you can walk around their bases and touch the slippery moss. Just hours later, that place turns into deep sea again. Standing at the edge of the bay, you can hear the sound of water moving like a massive body, inhaling and exhaling. Fundy isn't violent. It consumes slowly, reminding us that storms aren't the only things to fear. Sometimes, all it takes is a rising tide. Rising from the heart of the Alaska Range, Denali towers as a massive block of raw rock, standing 6,190 meters high. Yet beneath it lies a geological system still alive. The entire mountain is far from static. It continues to rise by about 1 millimeter each year, driven by the collision of the Pacific and North American tectonic plates. Beneath its slopes sprawls a vast network of glaciers, with the Kahiltna stretching more than 70 kilometers, a moving river of ice that constantly shifts, dragging rocks and mountain dust along its path. As the ice slides downward, cracking sounds echo for miles, deep and resonant, like metal being pulled apart. Geophysicists describe Denali as a geological machine. It both pushes upward and erodes itself. Each season, rocks are ground into fine dust, carried away by glaciers and tinting the meltwater a silvery gray. In deep crevices, scientists have found fossilized plant remains pressed into the ice for thousands of years, traces of a time when this land was once a warm forest. Denali is not merely the tallest peak in North America. It is a living tectonic engine, silently recording how Earth shapes itself, grain by grain, stone by stone, motion by motion, beneath our feet. Stretching more than 217 miles along the spine of the Andes between Chile and Argentina, the southern Patagonian icefield is one of the largest bodies of ice outside the poles, covering roughly 16,800 square kilometers. From it flow more than 60 glaciers of varying size, pouring into lakes and fjords, forming a continuous network of moving ice and rock that few humans have ever crossed. On one slope on the Argentine side, a cracked field of rock opens between the white ice. Surveyors report that the base has been ground by glaciers for centuries, forming a bed of debris where every step across the glacier is a step upon millions of tons of moving stone. In sections where the ice slides forward, giant blocks tumble into ravines, striking cliffs with thunderous roars. But there are no warnings, only the silent crash and disappearance into icy mist. Few know that beneath this sheet of ice lie submerged volcanoes such as Lautaro and Viedma, buried under thousands of meters of ice. Each time they stir, the pressure between rock and ice creates sudden distortions along the glaciers, cracking massive slabs or breaking off the icy edges. At the foot of Perito Moreno, the final glacial lake splinters, a vast wall of ice opens, revealing deep blue veins hundreds of meters long, gleaming like crystal between mountain hands. This region is not just Earth's geological memory, it is a living machine reshaping itself every minute. The Sahara Desert stretches across more than 3.5 million square miles, covering almost the entire expanse of North Africa, from the Atlantic Ocean to the Red Sea. From above, it appears as an endless golden ocean, where waves of sand replace water and the wind moves like the tide. Over thousands of years, this desert has been more than a barren land. It is a living world where geology, climate, and history merge into one. Towering dunes over 600 feet high drift with the wind, reshaping the landscape every moment. Among these waves of sand lie dark stone plateaus, dry valleys, and green oases shimmering like mirages, places where people have survived for centuries. Beneath the sand lies a geological archive, fossils of dinosaurs, fish bones, and traces of ancient rivers, proof that the Sahara was once a lush region filled with lakes and forests. The Sahara is not merely a natural boundary, but also a historical bridge linking sub-Saharan Africa to the Mediterranean. Camel caravans once crossed these sands carrying salt, gold, and the spirit of civilizations. In the desert's stillness, the past seems to echo through every gust of wind, a timeless tale of humanity's journey across the greatest desert on Earth. Poveglia Island rises in the Venetian lagoon like a vast scar upon the water, where time lingers between the salty breath of the sea and a grey veil of ash. The soil blends sand, ash, and lime, making the trees grow crooked yet firmly rooted, as if trying to preserve the last shape of memory. Amid tangled vines, Venetian Gothic structures emerge like fossils. Broken domes, endless corridors, and salt-stained red bricks, all swallowed by nature. Walls and trunks merge, turning architecture into the body of the earth itself. What was once built to isolate people is now itself isolated by nature. Trees, wind, and mist work together to erase every human line. The power here is not violent, but patient, precise, absolute. From afar, Poveglia appears as an ancient being asleep. In the silent lagoon, it breathes through moss, lives on ash, and endures as proof of nature's ultimate reign.